wonder what life was like for a knight back in 1303.
Don't worry, lad. I'm not a ghost. I'm here to answer your question. I'm going to take you down to Rosslyn Glen and we'll show you how we prepared the medieval knight for battle. So here we are in 1303. We're at Rosslyn Glen, just below the castle, and you are now my squire. And it's your job to prepare me for battle, but before we do, we're going to show you what a squire would wear in a battle situation. So this is the padded jack, or the gambeson. It is a basic layer of protection for a knight. For you, it is your only protection. I'm going to turn you around. And the ridges at the back are packed full of material, and the idea is that will cushion a blow. For example, if I was to punch you in the kidneys, that will cushion the blow. However, it's 1303, we don't go around pushing each other in the kidneys. We are not barbarians. We would use something like this. And if I take that across, it will cushion the blow. However, the blade will cut through the material. It will then cut through you, and you won't enjoy the experience. And that is the origin of the expression, to get the stuffing knocked out of you, because the material will come flying out as I hit you. So as you can see, we've now changed over. I am now wearing the padded jack, or the gambeson. As a knight, I'm much more important than a squire. I'm also richer, so I can afford better protection. And that is why we're going to put on the mail shirt. So what we have here, this is the mail shirt, the sports shirt of the 1300s. Made by a major reputable sports company. It's lightweight, not. It's flexible, it's breathable, it gives protection against most medieval weapons. For example, clubs, swords, axes, with one exception, arrows. There's nothing can be done with this. This is the best protection a knight can have. And this will protect me all the way through the battle. My squire's job will be to look after my back and to provide me with weapons, but this mail will keep me safe from most angles. So this protects me against weapons, but the final piece of clothing I'm putting on the top here is known as the surcoat. The surcoat is my insurance policy. This lets people know who he is. It lets them know that he is very rich, very important, and he's worth a ransom. He would not be killed. We'll now look at some of the weapons. We'll start with the classic knight's weapon, the sword. Sword, this one is a one-handed version. I carry it in one hand, and there's none of this carving your initials on people. What you're looking to do is to cause as much damage as you can. If you're running towards me, I want you to stop running towards me, and I will go for your shins, I will go for your joints, I will stop you in any way I can. And it's the weight of the blow rather than the sharpness of the blade that will cause the damage. And the axe, one of my favourites, favourite of another Scots hero, Robert the Bruce. The axe can be used, originally was used for felling trees. And somebody took one look and decided if it can knock a tree down, it can certainly knock a man down. And that is how it developed. And it became a weapon used to chop men down in their prime. Again, it's a stopping weapon. You're not using any finesse, you're stopping your enemy charging towards you. The third and final weapon I'm going to show today is the mace. My own particular favourite. I love this. It's light, it's easy to use. You would swing it, you go for the chin. The idea is this was brought in by the church. Church law says it's not very nice to go around chopping people up with swords, but churchmen do like to fight. And as I say, you're not allowed in the church to go around chopping people with sharp weapons. However, it is totally acceptable to beat them to death with a blunt object. Hence the mace. So on my head, I've got my arming cap. I'm now ready for my helmet. The helmet we use is the kettle helm. Joe puts my kettle helm on, and that gives me all-round protection. I can hear what's going on. I can see round about me, and that in a battlefield situation is very important. Very simple design, very effective, as Joe is about to demonstrate. Wherever he takes it, anywhere he hits me, it will deflect the blow away from my shoulders and actually protect all of me. Why is it called a kettle helmet, I hear you ask? Well, the reason for that is very, very simple. Imagine a hot summer's day, you're marching along with your metal helmet on, you're very, very hot, you're very sweaty, we go on foot, we very rarely travel by horse, and at the end of the day, it is time to cook your meal, and it's your turn to cook. You take your helmet off, you cook your porridge in there, you get your friend's porridge, you add some water, hang it over the fire, and you cook your dinner, and you share your meal together. And always remember to clean it out in the morning.
Well, why aren't you wearing a helmet like this?
Let me show you. This is the great helm, the classic knight's helm you see in the movies. It goes over the top, and we just adjust that so you stand up straight. We bring that round and just tilt that until you can see. Yeah? So it gives great all-round protection. Fantastic if you're fighting one-on-one in a tournament. However, in a battle situation, this is a great disadvantage because you can't hear very much. And worst of all, can you see my hand, Joe?
Yes.
Tell me when you can't see my hand anymore.
I can't see your hand now.
Now, the problem you have is an army of people my size or below, and you are in real trouble. Because what they will do is they will sneak up underneath you. While you're fighting away merrily, they will sneak underneath and they will put a knife through the eye slot. And that will spoil your afternoon. But for protection, a wonderful thing. If I take the mace, for example, and I heft the mace, a nice short weapon, but if I hit you in the side of the head with the mace, I don't feel a thing. Fabulous. The Battle of Rosslyn was one of the most important battles in the first period of the Scottish Wars of Independence, leading to the Battle of Bannockburn in 1314. This is our history, Scotland's history. It's not a dry, boring subject, and what we're trying to do is introduce you to some facets of the lives of those who fought and lived during those times.